Well, hello. It's Lee Thurburn, and you are on another episode of Livestream Lee, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Yesterday I had a problem with the technology with the live stream system that I use, StreamYard, connecting to LinkedIn, which is where most of my listeners and viewers hang out. It did, however, record, and I was able to download and edit. So I am just about done with that, and I will be loading yesterday's episode up shortly after today's episode. So in the sequence of the live streams on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn, there will be an out of sequence with this episode being before the one that was actually yesterday. So again, welcome back. I am Lee Thurburn, and on Livestream Lee, we talk about business, and we talk about specifically things that may very well be able to help you. I try to share things that'll help you grow your business faster. There's a lot of stuff, of course, that can do that. And so a lot of our focus here is on marketing, but also a lot on strategy and sort of general business theory, if you will, the philosophy of how to succeed. I want to introduce myself briefly for those of you that are tuning in and haven't heard an introduction. I am both a professor at UT Arlington, where I teach a couple of classes. I teach a class on entrepreneurship and a class on business strategy. I also have a software business, and in the past have taken a company public that I started. I've been a serial entrepreneur. I've been both employed and an entrepreneur, more an entrepreneur most of my life than employed. Once you become an entrepreneur, it's kind of hard to go back to the world of being employed because, quite honestly, it's so much fun being an entrepreneur. Though there are definitely downsides. I, not jokingly, but quite seriously, will often describe being an entrepreneur as being self-unemployed. And that basically means you are 100% up. It's up to you 100% to make sure that your safety net is in place. In other words, there is no safety net. Nobody provides one to you. And so it's important to have a good grasp of what the basic fundamental things are you need to do. And the vast majority of what an entrepreneur starting a small business needs to do is focus their attention on marketing, because nothing is more important than getting customers and paying the bills. So today we're going to talk about what I call the bleeding edge of marketing. And the reason I call it the bleeding edge of marketing is really, quite honestly, not that it's the newest stuff in the world. There are a lot of people doing what I'm going to tell you about today, but it's kind of new to me. And I'm probably not much different than you. I am constantly having to learn new things. And just because something's new to me doesn't mean that it's new in the marketplace. So when I say the bleeding edge of marketing, I'm talking about how I'm literally cutting my teeth, cutting my fingers, if you will, whatever. I'm on the cutting edge of my own marketing journey. So today I'm going to talk about two different things that I think could be very helpful to you. One is live streaming, like I'm doing now, and the other is podcasting. And I think you'll find both of these conversations interesting. So with that thought in mind, we're going to begin. But before we do, as I typically do, I want to also introduce you to my day job. And my day job is I have a company called Apricot Rocket. And Apricot Rocket is a software product. It's a platform technology. It's in many respects very similar to LinkedIn and Facebook, but different. It is a platform that brings people together, just like LinkedIn does and Facebook does. But there's a difference. LinkedIn brings together business people for professional network building. Facebook primarily brings together people that are consumers for just consumer to consumer relationship building. And it's not even really consumers, it's more just private individuals. Both of them try to get into each other's space a little bit. But what we do is Apricot Rocket fits in between. And our job, our goal, our vision and mission for our company is to help small businesses grow faster. And because that's our mission, we actually have a whole suite of tools that are fundamentally free to use. So you can go to Apricot Rocket and create an account for free, which I very much encourage you to do so. And when you do that, you're going to get a whole suite of tools that are designed to help you grow faster. Now, when I say help you grow faster, I am talking about helping you to build a community of people that are potential customers and nurture those relationships so that they become customers. And so it is a relationship building and nurturing technology. Our focus is on helping you get customers. And so as a result, we have email marketing tools and CRM databases and text message marketing tools and custom forms and marketing automation process workflow process scheduling tools. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we do that is designed specifically to help the small business become more efficient, more effective, and accomplish the goal of getting more customers and growing faster. The goal, of course, is to become more profitable, work a little less, have more time with your family. And when you do get to the point that you sell your business, to have a business that's more valuable because you have well-organized information about your customers and your prospects, that you have processes in place to manage your workflow, and that you have a well-documented business that makes it easier for people that buy your company to step in and take over the controls and grow it from where you left it to them, and which that makes your business more valuable. So those are the things that Apricot Rocket is designed specifically to do. Now, when you are successful at reaching that end-game point and you have a valuable business, you're going to want to know this guy. His name is Bob Hampton. Bob is a financial planner who specializes in helping business owners plan for retirement. And it's not just the typical financial planning for retirement. Bob focuses a lot of his attention on helping you structure your business and your exit deal so that you get the maximum cash flow out of it and have the minimum tax liability, because those taxes you pay to the federal government, as you well know, take a big bite out of the wealth and the value that you've created with your business. So the sooner that you get in touch with somebody like Bob, the better off you're going to be. And so I highly recommend you go to livestreamly.com and you'll see a button for Bob Hampton on the right side. Click there and get in touch with Bob and have a conversation with him. He'll be glad to have a conversation with you, and he might be a good fit, he might not, but he's a great guy to get to know, and I think you're going to like Bob. All right. Now, with all that said, today we're going to be talking about both live streams and podcasting. So I thought I would start with a discussion of live stream technology. And there are, quite honestly, a lot of different live streaming platforms out there. And they constantly or consistently or continuously improve themselves to get better. I use a technology that is very popular called StreamYard. And StreamYard is very popular because it's really easy to use and yet reasonably sophisticated. So first, let me talk about what StreamYard can do and how it is easy to set up things. So StreamYard is designed literally to be about as simple as you can possibly have a streaming technology. Now, you can create a free account with StreamYard, and with a free account, you can stream to one platform, maybe two. I know for sure you can stream to one platform. I have a paid account, which I think I pay about $40 a month. And because I have a paid account, I can stream up to 5 streams at a time. So I choose to stream live to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Now, you can also stream to a couple of other platforms, but those are the ones that I stream to because that's where I have accounts. And anyway, that's what I do. So you create one stream, you designate the different platforms, and the process of streaming to those platforms is automated for you. Now, StreamYard also records the stream so that you can download it. Not all platforms are equally reliable in terms of the technology and the connections that exist. So you're feeding a relatively high bandwidth stream of video to in my case, 4 different technologies at the same time, or 4 different destination websites at the same time. It is not uncommon for one or more of those websites that you're streaming to have a connection issue. StreamYard seems to be really good at connecting to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. LinkedIn, I do occasionally have some difficulty with. Typically about once every week or two, one of my streams will have a connection issue with LinkedIn. Now, when you report a connection issue, StreamYard gets right back to you and, seems to care, but it doesn't really matter. It, I think, could be my bandwidth, it could be LinkedIn's connection side, it could be StreamYard's. They never really seem to have a thorough answer for that. So about 1 out of every 10, roughly, streams seems to have a connection issue. That's just something you have to deal with. And so what I do is when I know that I have a connection issue, I just go ahead and broadcast the stream, and then I do a download of the file, which takes a few minutes to do because a 30-minute stream is a pretty good size file. And then I have to port it over to an editing package where I then cut it into pieces to put on LinkedIn. Now, the reason I cut it into pieces to put it on LinkedIn is when you put video on LinkedIn, you really only have 2 primary choices. One is you can load it to YouTube, which you can do easily. And in fact, I've already got it loaded to YouTube. So I could just paste the link and I could put it into LinkedIn and do that. Or I could load it to LinkedIn as a native video, which is preferred because then the content actually gets streamed directly by LinkedIn and you sort of get more points for it. To do that, you can't put LinkedIn has a limit of 10 minutes to put a 10-minute long video that you can put on it. So since my streams are typically about 30 minutes, cut them into 10-minute segments or 9-minute and 50-second segments. And then I load them onto LinkedIn so that they stream natively from LinkedIn. Now, in terms of how effective has this been as a strategy, it's actually been reasonably effective for me as a strategy to be able to build the Apricot Rocket business. I get a reasonable number of people, typically about 600 to 800 viewers per week, typically in the 700 range, 700, 750, but it does depend to some degree on 2 things. One of the things that it depends on is the degree to which I promote it, and the other that it depends on is the degree to which my guests, and when I have a guest, the degree to which they promote it. I do 5 streams per week, one each day of the week at 3 o'clock Central Time. And I typically reserve Fridays for an entrepreneur interview. This week, by the way, I have a patent attorney, intellectual property attorney named Bill Nifa. He's going to be joining me, and I got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to that conversation because he protects small businesses like you and I from patent trolls and copyright trolls. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but there's a tremendous amount of that going on. Businesses and attorneys out on the internet that are really just sitting around waiting for waiting and trying to come across somebody that is misusing a copy or patent or copyright information, and then they pounce on it and they sue you, all with the hope that you'll settle and pay them a few $1,000s. This is a rampant problem in the United States. We're going to talk about that with Bill on Friday of this week. But in any event, I reserve Fridays for business interviews. And then the rest of the time I talk about something like marketing or strategy. And I've gotten a lot of visibility. I've gotten a lot of increased traffic to my website. I've picked up a few new clients for the website. All in all, it's been a pretty effective strategy. And quite honestly, I just enjoy it. I enjoy sharing the knowledge and information that I've gathered over the years with the audience, whatever that is, of people that tune in. So live streaming is a potentially effective tool for promoting your business, for building your brand, and for basically generating revenue. Though quite honestly, it may not be the most effective for the last. It has worked for all of those reasons for me. Now I'm going to show you the StreamYard technology by adding a video stream from a browser, and I'm just going to go ahead and overlay my picture here with a browser image. And here you can see the StreamYard studio. Now in the lower left corner is a little video of me. You can see me waving my hand. And in the main screen is the screen that's actually streaming. And you can see it. It's a kind of a cascading series of images embedded in images, a perpetual disappearing mirror type of thing. That's because I clicked on the stream, basically video stream or browser stream add-in button here. Now you can actually click on different types of profiles. Here I'm clicking on a profile that moves the insert to a smaller, and here the insert becomes kind of an overlay. The other little video icons across, now I'm going to go back to full screen. The other icons across are for when you bring guests into your stream. You have a button down at the bottom where it says invite, where you get the stream link and you send it to up to a total of 9 additional guests that you can bring in to have a conference, if you will, or a panel if you want to, and just have a conversation, which can be interesting. But depending upon whether those guests are on laptop, desktop type machines, or whether they're on cell phones, you can either choose to side by side or with cell phones, or side by side with screens. Now I'm going to go back so that you can see what I clicked on. I clicked on these things right here. Over on the right hand side, you have a series of tabs running down the side. And I'm going to click on the top one, which is comments. And this is a place for people who are actually live on your stream to enter comments in the comments section of your live stream. I've had a few people do this over the last 2 or 3 months that I've been doing daily live streams, but I haven't really cultivated a large live listenership. So I don't use the comments a lot. The next option down is banners. Banners are texts or scrolling text items that you can put on the stream. Like if I click on this banner, you'll see it says visit Livestream.ly, join the community. If I want to show my email address, I can click on this little banner. If I want to put a scrolling banner that talks about our guaranteed customers offer, I can click on that. When I have a guest, I'll often put a banner for the guest up. Here's a banner for a guest that I was supposed to have, Mike Blake Holmes. Sometimes I'll put their phone numbers or their emails, whatever it is that the guest wants. And so I can simply stream these things. These are banners. Next, we have brand elements. Brand elements are a variety of things. So I'm going to click on this panel right here, and you're going to see that the business success tips and strategies banner disappears. If I click on this, these are overlays. These float on top of the actual imagery or whatever you're feeding. That's an overlay. Here's an overlay for Bob Hampton and an overlay for another guy I'm going to tell you about. So I just click on overlays while I'm talking, and that pops up. Now, typically, I'll do an overlay while I'm on screen. But if I have a browser share, I'm sharing a browser, it'll overlay over the browser. So you can see how that works. Now, if I scroll down, actually, I'm going to take the overlay off because you can't see what I'm doing. As I scroll down, the next section says video clips. I can preload a video clip, like here's a video clip of a I had to turn it off because it mutes my mic while the video is playing, but that's just a countdown clock video, which can be useful if you want to have a countdown clock running because you're away for a moment or the show hasn't started. You can also upload videos. Maximum length, I think, of the video that you can upload is it's either 5 or 10 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes, but you know, uploading video clips that you've pre-prepared can make your show, your live stream, more interesting. I haven't done a whole lot of that just because it takes a lot of time to prepare video clips. You also can put backgrounds in the background. I don't have any backgrounds, but you can put backgrounds in the background behind you if you'd like to. That is really effective if you have a green screen. So those are some things that you can do there. You also can have a private chat with somebody that's on the chat, and that's essentially it. Now, one thing I can't do easily is I can't show you how to set up the shows for future running. One of the nice things about StreamYard is it allows you to schedule shows for the future up to 7 days out. And that gives you the ability to set up a show on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or Twitter. And then the people that are following you on those channels will be notified in advance that there's going to be a show at a certain point in time. And some of the platforms like YouTube will actually send out a notification 10 or 15 minutes ahead of your show to let all the people that are following you know that a show is about to start. So from a marketing perspective, these things can be quite helpful. I'm going to stop on here for a second. I'm going to move to anchor.fm. Anchor.fm, and I'm just going to check and make sure. Yep. Anchor.fm is a Spotify company, and it is a podcasting tool. Now, what you're looking at here is the profile page that I set up for Livestream on Anchor.fm. The difference between a podcast and a live stream is that the podcast is audio only, and of course, the live stream is both audio and video. Because it's audio only, it can be simpler to produce, but you also have, because it is audio only and there's no visuals, which attract people's attention and keep them engaged, you have to be very cognizant of the fact that you have an audio only stream. Now, I'm in Anchor.fm and I'm logged into my account. But if I go into my dashboard, I'm actually going to click here and I'm going to go into my dashboard. Let's see here. Am I on my dashboard? Yeah, I'm actually on my dashboard. And so here, there's some information that I can see on my dashboard. Now you can see that since I set this up, and by the way, I haven't done hardly anything at all other than set up about 8 different podcasts. Now, I'll be honest, the podcasts are just one more thing to take time, and I have not been very diligent at setting up podcasts. I haven't marketed the podcasts, but one of the neat things about how Anchor.fm works is they make it real easy, super easy for you to monetize your podcast. And I've done almost nothing and earned 33 cents. And so it has an estimated audience based on recent episodes, which I'm not sure how long that is, but it shows you your plays, your top episodes. It'll let you look at your episode numbers. And, I basically have had about 4 people listen to each episode or play each episode. You can see the platforms that they've been on. Most people have been on something other than Anchor.fm. I've had one person in Germany listening. How about that? I didn't even know that. So that's some just interesting information. If I want to go look at my episodes, I can click here, and this is a list of the episodes that I've had. And like I said, I've had 8 episodes, and it shows you the amount of times they've been played, the number of ads that have been listened to, or the number of ads that there are there. And so every time somebody listens to an ad, they pay you a little bit of money, typically about 1 or 2 cents per ad. So it can add up. Now, my big thing is I haven't consistently done this. I set these up, as you can see. The last time I did one was on April 12th, and here we are, May 25th. So I haven't done anything in about 6 weeks. But I set most of these up within a pretty short time frame of getting set up on the system. So now, when you want to set up a new episode, you click on New Episode, and you get this colorful and easy to navigate panel. All you have to do is click Record to turn on the recorder, and then you start recording. Howdy doody, folks. This is Lee Thurber. I'm on Livestream Lee demonstrating Anchor.fm. I hope you enjoy the recording. So I just click Stop Record. It's in the process of uploading a recording, and within about 5 or 10 seconds, because this was a really short recording, it'll upload it. And once it has been uploaded, I can then drag the recording over to the right-hand side, and I can place it into an episode. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to happen, I can go down my list of episode elements, and these are all the recordings that I have from the past. And so I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to find one that says, well, let's see here. Carlos Cantu, Bob Hampton, Scott Nelson. Now those, okay, I'm coming back up here. Here is my recording for today. I'm going to drag it over and put it in. Now I'm going to go grab a previously recorded recording, and I'm going to drop it in on the right-hand side. I'm going to add a sponsored segment in between the two of them. Now, sponsor, and so I have just crafted a podcast. So you can pre-record podcast elements. You can have, say, a standard recording. You can have a piece of music, like Rush Limbaugh has his music when he comes on. You can have a piece of music. You can put all that kind of stuff in. You can record your episode with pre-recorded elements. You can have your own advertisers. But one of the neat things about Anchor.fm is they will actually find advertisers for you. And in fact, Anchor.fm will, because they take a piece of the cut from the advertiser revenue that they generate, they're actually paying you to create content on their platform and letting them distribute it for you. Now, speaking of distribution, Anchor.fm makes it extremely easy. I'm going to click here and say, okay, I'm going to leave. Anchor.fm makes it extremely easy for your podcast to get distributed. They set up automatically for you on Anchor, which is a Spotify podcast, on Breaker, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. So they also have an RSS feed, and they can make it possible for you. They make it relatively easy for you to also distribute it to iTunes, but that's not automatic. It is a really easy platform to use. It only takes a brief amount of time for you to figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and come back over here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because we're just about out of time. If you've been thinking about doing a podcast, I'm going to tell you that It doesn't get any easier than Anchor.fm. The technology side of things is not what's going to keep you from podcasting. Don't worry about the technology. Go to Anchor.fm, create an account, and it's free. And play around with it. You'll probably spend 30 minutes or an hour figuring it out. And then you can record a little test podcast, put it up, listen to it. You can kind of learn how it works. Then you can start inviting people to join you on your podcast. You can just start talking about whatever it is you want to talk about and put it out there. And then the advertisements that can be inserted in your podcast can start generating revenue for you. So I hope that you have found this interesting and helpful. I'm going to end my live stream with a quick plug for a friend of mine named Bob Hurt. Now, over my shoulder here, you see the, there it is. Here we go. The shirt looks like a Star Trek person, right? That is some corporate swag that I got from a guy named Bob Hurt. Bob has a company called Impressions Unlimited. Bob's been in the branded corporate apparel business for 50 years. And I'm going to tell you, he loves what he does, and there's nobody better at it than him. He knows everything about it. He's got the broadest selection of apparel at, without a doubt, the best prices. And whatever you choose, he can get any kind of design done for you that you want. And the prices will surprise you. They did me. They surprised me. So if you're thinking about getting branded corporate apparel for your business, go to livestreamly.com and look for Bob Hurt's name on the right-hand side. There's a button. Click on it, and you'll be able to get in touch with Bob and call him up and tell him what you're looking at, to ask him whatever questions you have, and he will help you out. He will hook you up with some good deals. So thank you for your time today. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock on Live Stream Lee. Bye.